Alright, welcome guys. We got another one of these way too early talking about a deck and playtesting it with Kooper. And today we're going to look at a deck that I have dubbed Eternal Freeze. It makes heavy usage of a new Pokemon that just got revealed from Plasma Gale, which I believe comes out today, at the time this video is being recorded and or uploaded. It is Articuno EX, and I've been trying to make another one of the guys in here work for quite a while. So we're going to go by a card by card flip over of this, and we should be having somewhere over here, up here. I know you guys are not going to be able to read these, so I'll flash up on the screen when I'm showing a card. Alright, the first card, and actually I suppose we can start with the main attacker of the deck, which is 4 Articuno EX. Camera's kind of inverted to me, so I'm going to have to do it like this. 4 Articuno EX. With this guy, he's one of the new Team Plasma EXs, and that means he gets to take advantage of a energy card we'll get to in a moment called Plasma Energy. And he's got 170 HP, metal weakness as you might expect for an ice type. Just 1 retreat, that's pretty good. Fight resistance, but his attacks are for WCC 60 and 10 spread to all the bench. Not that great, but you know, it's not the worst attack in the world. But the big seller, 2 water, 2 colorless, Frost Prison. If he's got one of those plasma energy cards attached to it, which is a mechanic similar to the react energy cards from Legend Maker, automatic paralyze, no coin flips, no shuffle back into the deck, no needing flip teeny, nothing, just boom, they're paralyzed, 80 damage. And the attack cost is kind of steep at 4 energy, 2 water, 2 colorless, but that's very manageable, as you'll see shortly. Now the problem is, you know, as players who play Vanillux and Excellior know, whenever a Pokemon gets knocked out, your paralysis lock kind of gets broken. So how do we solve this? Well, we don't have Vileplume to prevent switch or anything like that. So that's just something we're going to have to deal with. But the way we're going to deal with the lock being broken by someone dying is no one's going to die for quite a while, because we have this guy. Right now I've got a 4-1-3 line of Dusknoir from Cold Flare Freeze Bolt, which is going to come out soon as Boundaries Cross in the US. If you're familiar with Fossil Gengar, you will be familiar with this guy. The attacks, you're never going to use them. They're all psychic requiring anyway. But this guy's ability, Dark Hand, Kuroite, which is actually Black Hand, but I don't know how they'll translate it. Basically, you take Fossil Gengar and you raise it to infinity. Fossil Gengar lets you move around a damage counter on your opponent's side of the field once per turn. Noir does it as many times as you want. So the basic strategy is use Frost Prison, put 80 damage on their active, and then just use Frost Prison every turn, because you can move that 80 damage wherever you want on their bench. Just wherever you want. So once you get that set up, it's extremely hard to break. In fact, if you don't have Switch, something like Super Scoop Up, the new Escape Rope, or Keldeo EX, there may be 1 or 2 other things I'm forgetting too. Something to get your Pokemon out of the active position besides retreating, because you can't retreat while paralyzed. You really can't win. You're gonna have to catch. Maybe you can catch your Dusknoir and hope there's no out to getting Articuno back up with the switch or warp point, which we'll see the trainer lines in here in a moment. But that's pretty much the basis of the deck. And if that lock gets up and you have difficulty, even if you have the outs with switch, if you have difficulty drawing into them, then good luck. So I guess we'll just go through the rest of the deck now that I've shown the main strategy. Some of these cards may not be familiar since they're not out in English yet, so I'll talk about them if they're not. There's 2 Ditto. I love this guy in Stage 2 decks. He can just sit on your bench, and when you get ready, he's been around the turn, transform into Duskull and Rare Candy Dusnoir. He's just a nice booster. He sort of thins the deck, provides another basic, because I don't really want to be running 8 basic Pokemon, especially when one of them has 50 HP. At least it's not 40 HP. I just love this guy in Stage 2 decks. He doesn't, provide something that's going to be clutterful. I was thinking about having the Plasma Snorlax, which has an ability that blocks retreating as long as he's active, but that can be captured around and then they can retreat. So I ended up cutting him out. As for the energy lines, I think we've got 8 water energy. No, I think we have 7. 7. Yeah, we have 7 water energy. And you may notice on some of these, yes, these are all proxies that I made up. They are done in the base set style. There should be a link in the description if you want to download those for yourself. I get much enjoyment out of it. So the energy line, we've got 7 water and 4 of the needed plasma energy. I'll just put those off to the side. Keep that in mind. So supporter line, you guys know, it's real, everyone. It's real. Full art Skyla is real, but this is not the real one. I couldn't find a good enough resolution of it. So instead we've got 4 Skyla. I modified the full art I had before to give it the more base set full art style. We've got 4 Shirin. For this build I have right now, I feel like Shirin's probably the best supporter out there. And then here's a new thing, Colorus. Got 3 of those. It's pretty much the new shuffle draw supporter. It's like Oak's New Theory plus Steven's Advice mashed together. You shuffle your hand into your deck and then you draw however many bench Pokemon there are in play. So if both players have a full bench, shuffle in and draw 10. However, if both benches are empty, you shuffle in and draw nothing. So it could be really good, but if you got a full bench, it's at least going to be a Professor Oak's research, so you can kind of control it. And it's pretty good. Then I got a lovely new full art, or base set style full art Bianca. And yeah, I just have one of those. I'd rather have a 5th Shirin, but I can't, so. There's my supporter line. It's actually more supporters than I think I usually run. 8, no, that's 12. That's however many I usually run. Next we have Burbank City Gym, which is the only stadium in here. It's not necessarily needed, but this stadium makes poison decks very scary. It adds 20 damage to how much is dealt by poison between rounds. So if it's normal poison, now instead of taking 10 each round, you're taking 30. You'll see why this is actually relevant momentarily. What really makes the deck not super slow is this card, Colorus Machine. I've got 3 of them. Could run 4, but I've only got 3. It'll let you search out one of these Plasma Energy cards and slap it on one of your Plasma Pokemon, namely Articuno. So this is like Dark Patch, except from the deck. So, and only limited, well, I guess Dark Patch is kind of limited to that too. And Plasma Energy is only a colorless requirement. But you can see pretty clearly that, you know, if I can get a turn 2, this deck can start doing this lock as early as turn 2. Fairly consistently as far as the stage 2 deck goes. With Skyla, it's easy to search out Rare Candy or Color's Machine, getting out your Dusnoir really quick on turn 2, and you know, if you're able to drop a Water Energy on each of those first 2 turns, as well as 2 Color's Machine, you could actually be doing your 4 energy attack potentially on turn 2, which is a scary thought to say the least. Of course, we got to get stuff out, so there's 3 Ultra Ball. And typically with Skyla, I find it's nice to have a level ball just hanging around. Skyla really lets you play tech trainer cards or just one-ofs. I guess level ball is not really a tech. It's not for a matchup. But just it lets you play one-of trainer cards really effectively. So you know, I figured, sometimes I might want a level ball, get a Duskull or something, and you know, I don't want to have to discard 2 cards to get a Clops or a Duskull. So let's try to consolidate some of these. Need to consolidate the supporters as well. Here's a card that is very rarely seen, but with Junk Arm gone, it's has at least a little bit more merit, and that is Recycle. Jigglypuff being lifted out of the crane. It's got, you know, you can recycle a trainer, obviously, but more importantly, this is the only card right now that lets you recycle special energy cards, like these Plasma Energy cards. Another thing that this deck is vulnerable to is Enhanced Hammer, and you know, it's not Lost Remover, so it doesn't go to the Lost Zone. It's possible to bring them back with Recycle, and you know, with 4 Shirin and a Bianca, very possible to just go ahead and draw that right away. So it has great synergy with Shirin Bianca. That's why there's no Juniper in this deck either. I guess Juniper's still a straight draw, but yeah, it's maybe surprising to see a deck here that doesn't have Juniper, but I just didn't feel like this deck needed it. So one of the big problems, of course, Dusnoir keeps getting captured up. So to combat that, we've got 2 Escape Rope, which is essentially a reprint of the old Warp Point, and 3 Switch. I'm not for sure about the split on these. I know I want it to be a total of 5. But you know, with Escape Rope, they could promote something with 80 HP or less, and if I have to knock that out, then that breaks the lock, so that's not very fun for me. But a total of 5 cards to get Dusknoir out of the active spot. And then this is a stage 2 deck, of course, so we're going to have some rare candies. I've got 3, which so far has been pretty fine. 2 Pokemon Catcher, which, you know, yeah, Gust of Winds. And, you know, this deck doesn't really need 4 Catcher because I'm going to be spreading the damage around. But, you know, sometimes I do want to gust up someone who, you know, has enough HP for me to keep them, you know, Frost Prison. Like, I don't want to have a Dynamo up there and let them sacrifice it. I'd rather gust up an Eel or a Zekrom or something, you know. And the thing that makes Burbank City Gym any good is this Poison Hypnotic Beam. It has the same effect as the old Team Rocket card Sleep, so clearly Team Plasma's inventions are way better than Team Rocket's, because this one also automatically inflicts poison, which combos well with Burbank. And you know, 80 damage, because 80 damage per round is kind of nice, but 100 damage per round is kind of really nice, and 140 damage per round is even really more nice. You know, the more damage I can get in each round, that's less turns they have to potentially draw a switch and break the lock. And the last card is an A-Spec Computer Search. Space Set Computer Search. You should be able to use the reprint, hopefully without a reference, but the jury's still out on that one. I definitely wouldn't blame people for just bringing it without the reference anyway, because really, who's gonna be a jerk and require the reference on it, you know, and make you replace it with a basic energy? But anyway, that's the deck. So we're gonna shuffle this up, and I think we're going to play a game against what's one deck that has been tearing up Battle Roads pretty well, which is Darkrai Hydreigon, which who knows how outdated this is. Obviously, this is 2 sets difference, so. But, you know, the opponent, as long as it doesn't play Switch, should be fairly the same. I don't think this deck has Switch, so this should be a walkover, but we'll see. Alright, we're going to get started up here, and on this side we have my wonderful Jasmine playboard, and my near side is going to be the Articuno Dusnoir deck we just went over, which I titled Eternal Freeze for my personal copy of it. And over here we have Darkrai Hydreigon. I already shuffled a little bit, so I'm just shuffling a little bit more. I guess we're going to be using this coin. This is from the Dragons Exalted theme deck playmats. And by the way, commentary on this, by the way. This is the coin. You guys see that? It's a green Rayquaza coin. This is the coin. There's no way you can see that. It's a green Rayquaza coin. Maybe if you look really close you can see it. I also have this thing. Guess what this came from, guys? This came from the Jetstream theme deck, I'm pretty sure, from EX Deoxys, which was like 6-7 years, like what, 2005 probably? So it's the same freaking coin they recycled from an old theme deck. So I just think that's funny. Freaking lazy bums. Alright, so okay, I guess we're shuffled up good enough. Alright, let's see if see how consistent we can be here, eh? Alright, I guess we'll flip coins because hopefully you guys can see. Can I see that? It's heads or it's tails, probably. Might be able to see that a little bit better than the dice, so that's what I'm aiming for here. Alright, this deck will of course be tails, and that's a heads. My coin flipping technique is not exactly super great, as I typically roll dice anyway. I think this deck's upside down for me. I'm probably going to keep everything facing towards me, so if that disorients you, I'm sorry. This deck opens and mulligans, gets a couple of full art Skylas. This deck, will it mulligan? It will also mulligan, so we'll shuffle it back in as a mulligan, right? Yes it is. 2 Polished Machines and Skylas, good stuff. Which I think that's funny that they recycled an old coin. I think the other theme deck from Deoxys was a Deoxys, so I guess it probably had a Deoxys coin? I'm not sure. I never got that one. But this one's one of the kind of nice ones. It's not just one color, it's sort of multicolor. I think there's also I think the Jirachi from Hidden Legends was kind of like that. There was a Munchlax coin that I kind of like. I tend to prefer the coins that are sort of that multicolor. I know in the recent theme decks they just started using one theme deck or one coin and then like it's a different color in each theme deck. Like I think Noble Victories it was silver for the good theme deck, the Eelektrik and Durant, and it was like blue for the Excelsior version. So we're going to try that again. Once again, Hydreigon won the flip, so it will go first. And this can be, again, this deck doesn't have switch, so there's a problem, red flag, about who should win. But, Darkrai is super effective to the ghost line in here, so that's something to be concerned with. And we get a lead Darkrai, which is pretty expected. See what we get here. We get another mulligan. Okay, so this deck will go ahead and set out prizes. And we'll start with a one-card advantage. This is what, well, I don't know, 10 basics is, well, in an evolution deck, 10 basics is not too crazy, I guess. That's another thing I like about Ditto. He allows you that extra basic while not actually being a different basic that you don't want. He also helps with a Molga. I just didn't really feel like I wanted a Molga in this deck for whatever reason. I'd like to be able to get Articuno out turn 1 and attached to him, not attached to a Molga. So it's sort of one of the reasons I didn't opt for a Molga in this deck. We can get set up here. We can actually get going. There we go. There's an Articuno. And we actually get a Duskull and a Dusclops as well, and 3 Shurins. Wow. All right. It's much easier to chain Shurins than it is to chain Biancas. So. Alright, Darkrai, however, will get to go first. Actually have my sunglass goggles on because this light is so blinding. So I'm playing Pokemon. I'm pretty sure it's not allowed. Let's see, this Darkrai is, they're all supposed to be Darkrai EX. But anyway, and it looks like we had a Zweilous off that. So, let's see, do we have a blend? We don't, yeah we do. We have a blend, so we'll attach that. We get Ultra Ball away. Ultra Ball. Dark Energy, and I guess the Tool Scrapper, if needed. This doesn't appear to be a Garbodor deck, so we'll pull out a Dino, I guess the Dark type. I think I've got maybe like a 3-1, I've got one of the Dragon type Dino. I feel like a split of those is probably your best option. You don't want to be getting everything knocked out by the regular Rayquaza, but you also don't want to get everything knocked out by, unboosted Retaliate either from Terrakion. So, let's see, we haven't been supporter yet, right? No, we could Dark Patch if we wanted to. Well, let's go ahead and do that. It's a Skyla for a Dark Patch. Some menial shuffling since I didn't pretty much bottom deck that. And we'll go ahead and get another energy in play. That way if we get another supporter or get end, we'll won't have too much in the hand and it'll be a happy thing. So this deck will end its turn. And starting with a Burbank City Gem. Okay. First things first, we'll Shurin. Get a couple cards off that. Get some water, Noir. Good, good, good. Go ahead and mention another one of those. Let's see. We'll go ahead and put... Let's go ahead and put the water energy on this turn. In case this gets shuffled in, we can Colorless Machine it out off an in. And next turn we can start working toward Noir. So Articuno's just got to tank a little bit, which he can do. 170 HP and an uncommon weakness. It's pretty good. Let's see. Dino can evolve to Zweilous. We can slap an Eviolite here. I guess we can throw down another Darkrai. Why not? Nothing to Super Rod, so that's going to do it for Darkrai's turn. There we go. There's Recycle. Let's see, nothing else in the discard pile but that Shurin, so we'll play another Shurin. And there we go. There's a Colorless Machine. Let's search your deck for not any, something very specific and attach it to a very specific subset. I don't think any really gets too much usage there. Alright, so some energy acceleration. And let's
see, we'll put another manual attachment of plasma energy on there. Drop an Articuno EX on the bench. Evolve that guy who was there before into a Clops, and next turn we should be able to get out of Dusknoir, possibly using a rare candy. See, Shiren is being awesome here, just getting all of the good stuff. I'm going to hold off on Burbank City for now. That is the hometown of Homika, Roxy, Malice's favorite person. There's a Dano. No supporter. Maybe I should have scoured for a supporter. What do you guys think? Yeah, nothing to super on. I don't really want to bench that Dano, so it's going to be it. This deck needs to get Hydreigon out. There is an Ultra Ball. There is a Dusnoir. There's a Shiren, and if we get a Water Energy, hello. No Water Energy this turn, though. But there is a Rare Candy to a second Dusnoir. Let's see if there might be something else we want to use. Well, let's try to... usually like to use recycles on plasma energies, but let's try to use a recycle. Where's my coin? There we go. Use a recycle. Got tails. I do have another one. Do I want to blow another one? Yes, I think I do. I will blow another recycle. And that one's head. So we'll be able to put something on top of the deck. And I think I'll pick Shiren. I just want to get another supporter. And I believe that is it. Don't need to Ultra Ball for anything, and I don't have Poison Hypnotic Beam right now. So let's see what Darkrai can do in response. Got another Dark Patch, but I don't think there's any more, no Dark Energies in the discard pile. And I'd like to get a supporter so we can actually get a Night Spear off. Darkrai's running a little bit slow. There's the Shiren that we just put on top of the deck. There's a Colress, and still no Water Energy though, so this deck is throttling a little bit too. I do have several switches in case of catchers to, might want to bring out my Dusnoir, and we do have Colress hanging out as well, so it's going to be a shuffle in and draw 5 at the moment. We can go ahead and cash that level ball in for Ditto, which would cash me in for another basic later on. There's this Full Art Bianca. Not the actual Full Art Bianca. We'll pull out Ditto. Don't really need him, but you know, he'll be another guy I can draw with Colress. So we'll go ahead and keep something in play a turn in case for some reason I need to Rare Candy into a third Dusnoir, which is not too likely. I think that's it. We already did supporter this turn. Trying to play quick. There's a catcher, so we'll catcher up the Noir. Try to. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to take a kill with it this turn, but it's got a free retreat, so you know, it's kind of appetizing the catcher. And let's see what we get here. We got a Gust. That might be good. Let's Gust up that non-Eviolited Darkrai. Darkrai's got an Eviolite on it, then I'm only going to be able to do 60 with that. And we'll be able to do a switch Articuno back in, bench Dusnoir. Go ahead and throw out Burbank City Gym because I'm going to play Colress. None of the cards in hand to utilize that Ultra Ball. And how many bench Pokemon are on this field? By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this or not. I think I did. I think I mentioned in the description there should be all these proxies that I'm using that are done in the classic format, the base jungle fossil, that sort of thing. I do have the blue borders and stuff on the Team Plasma cards. It's pretty nifty. If you think those are interesting, you can check those out in the description. I think I'm just going to have a big link to like all of them so you can just sort through them. I've got 4, he's got 2, so it's a pot this turn. Could be much more. Could be up to 10 cards you can draw off Colress, but I'll take Shuffle in and draw 6. That seems to be a pretty good thing. People like that. And would you believe no Water Energy still? Wow. Not even a Poison Hypnotic Beam either. Although there's a Sky. I've been thinking about adding Energy Search just so you can Skylo for an energy. There's a Colress Machine. We can go ahead and play that. And in the deck, pick up everything with put it on that guy. The Plasma Energy that I won't have to manually attach later. Shuffle. And I believe that's it. There's another Ditto I could draw. Yeah, I can throw down that Ditto. Why not? And I do have another Colress in hand too, so that's good. And Darkrai needs to be getting something going on. Let's see. Can retreat for that guy. Dark Cloak, of course. And I think that's about it. Oh, there's a Poison Hypnotic Beam. So we're going to flip a coin, see if we get Sleep as well. We do, but I don't really care about Sleep. And Poison, and with Verbank City, that's going to be doing a lot of damage. I don't know if that deck plays a counter gem or not. I don't think it does. Let's see, now we have 7 cards, so we can play Colress for 7. Shuffle in, and hopefully off these 7 cards we can get a Water Energy Weight so we can start using Frost Prison, because this is, right now it's just making Darkrai look stupidly inconsistent, is all it's doing right now. But then again, I guess both decks are sputtering a little bit. This is, of course, my first build of this deck, so there certainly is some consistency issues to work out. And also worth noting, Colress only draws for each benched Pokemon, not active, so you don't get to drop to 12. And, wow, seriously, no Water Energy. Well, too bad, because we're going to computer search. I don't really need Ultra Ball, and I don't need that other rare candy. I need a bloody Water Energy. Can't believe I just computer searched for a Water Energy. That's like the dumbest thing to computer search for ever, but sometimes you need it, so that's what I need to get my lot going on. And especially with Poison, I don't want that thing to retreat itself out of that Poison Hypnotic Beam. So we gotta get it, and we got it. So here comes Frost Prison. Due to Eviolite, it's only gonna deal 60 damage, but it will switch him over to other way. That's paralyzed. And on top of that, Verbank is gonna hit him for bam, hit him for 30 with Poison. And now Darkrai does not feel good whatsoever. Gets another Dano. Once again, no bloody supporter. Comes unparalyzed. Takes 30 from Verbank Poison. And draw. We get a Bianca that I don't really need. We do have a switch in hand in case of a catcher. That's always good. And here's where we're going to start being able to use Dark Hand. Let's just move this off. That's 120 damage. We can move it to 60 as well as 60 there. Why not? He is, of course, still poisoned. Nothing else I need to play from the hand, so we'll Frost Prison, paralyze you. Poison damage, 30 in fact. Draws a Blend Energy. I guess we'll throw that down there. Suppose let's drop the Dragon Dano, just for the sake of dropping another poke, I suppose. This bench is not enough bench area. Why is this deck not getting a supporter? Like, I'm tempted to make this deck cheap and draw a supporter, but I guess we won't. So I'm going to put the Eevee right there. And goes up to 60 on the poison. So there's a recycle. Anything I might want to draw that would be cool? Not really. I'm still looking to draw in some water energies to power up a spare Articuno. Alright, let's see. Let's move this. We'll move 60 here. We'll move 50 of it to this little Dano. And we will Frost Prison. Frozen. Deal with it. And also takes up to 4 there from poison. There we go. There's a Skyla. At least we can get Skyla for a supporter, eh? Skyla for a... maybe just a Juniper would be good. Another strength of this deck is it's very resilient against In. You can just spread damage all across your opponent's board, and you don't have to take prizes throughout the game. You can just all of a sudden take 3, 4, 5, maybe even all 6 of your prizes. As I believe we might actually be able to set up here in this game. We'll see. There's a Juniper. We can't play it this turn. If we had the new Magnezone, we could. But we don't. We still don't have anything else to do, though. So it's going to go up 30 more from there. There we go. Get a Water Energy. Start powering up a Articuno in reserve. Another nice thing is that Articuno, 170 is probably not going to get one-shotted unless it's like Rayquaza EX. So you should be pretty safe to, even if you have to take a hit. Similar to the Vanillux versus Darkrai matchup. He can take a hit even if they happen to switch out of the lock in one turn. And in the meantime, you know, you're buying time. You can build up another Articuno and extra Dusknoirs if they want to capture and KO those. So let's see. We're gonna move. See, I don't think we can get a KO this turn, can we? If we move, let's move 40 to him. We'll then make that be 5. Add 10 to that. And subtract 10 from that. Let's see, we'll put him there. He'll be almost knocked out. And, I mean, all these Pokemon on the bench now are 10 HP away from being knocked out. Should be about it. We're in a Frost Prison again. And that will... Actually, let's see. Well, it'll be fine. We'll Frost Prison for 60. And then Verbank will put it to that. I wanted to do a play where I take 6 prizes in one turn, but I guess I'm going to essentially do that. Let's see. May as well Ultra Ball. Trash you 2. And finally we can get a Hydreigon out, which will give that Zoelis a little bit more HP. Yeah, unfortunately I didn't have another place to put that extra damage, so then we can Juniper. And again, this deck has no switch, so it's pretty much a good game at this point. Wow, there's all the energy. Second Eviolite on that bench of Darkrai. That'll prevent me from doing the Blizzard thing, but since it'll reduce damage on the bench as well. And that'll do that, and between turns, Verbank knocks it up to 180, so he is knocked out, and it's kind of annoying because now Verbank is kind of pointless. But at the same time, this deck will pick up 2 prizes off that, and I guess we'll put up Darkrai. Get an escape rope, and actually we should be able to still. Oh no. Let's see. At this point, clearly the victory is in the bag. We could transform that if we wanted. No need. No more Shrins, so we can't get back something that instantly get it back. Let's see. We can move. Let's see. Hydreigon has 150, so we can move 60 damage over to him. And yeah, we can hit Darkrai for 60 with Frost Prison. No more poison, unfortunately, so no in-between damage. There's a Dark Energy. There's an in that we could use. I guess we'll throw down a Sableye. Yeah, you know, for the sake of time, we're not going to throw down a Sableye. Actually, yeah, we'll throw down a Sableye. It's not gonna matter since Darkrai is an EX. Throw a Dark Energy on him. I could end, but for the sake of time, I'm not going to bother. I don't think. Well, it could. It could get a catcher. So, for the sake of being robust, I guess we'll use in. But I'll make the shuffle kind of quick. Alright, this deck will now only draw 4 cards. Ordinarily I'd like to take all my prizes in one turn, but oh well. And whipped on the catcher. So I'm paralyzed, but I believe this is about to be game over here, because we're going to see, you have 140 damage, you have 50 damage, and you have 10 HP left as well, so we'll use, just switch over and use Blizzard, which will do 60, 10 to all of you guys on the bench, derp, derp, and derp, and that is knocked out, knocked out, knocked out. 2 prizes from him, and 2 knockouts there, and there you go. Took 6 prizes in 2 turns after a long build-up, but that's how this deck works. So hopefully you got a feel for how it operates. Now, obviously, this was a dumb matchup because this deck didn't have any sort of switch or anything to really get out of the lock. Maybe I'll put up another one later where the deck does actually have switch. So this is actually only like my second game with it. So hopefully we can have another one up like this. I'm also going to be doing something with my Battle Roads deck, which is a boatload of fun. It would actually be pretty good against this deck, actually. But hope you guys enjoyed. So that is the Articuno Dusnoir deck. It is pretty brutal if you do not have a switch, enhanced hammer, escape rope, or Keldeo EX. I may be missing like one or two other things you can use to, I suppose, crushing hammer too. It is quite brutal. Colorless Machine makes it not as slow as you might think, and getting out of stage 2 is actually not that hard. Not so long as we have. Why is she not in my discard pile? Did I never use a Skyla? Wow. Not so long as we have Skyla hanging around. So there's also a possibility that we might get full art Skyla in Boundaries Cross. People are trying to figure out what the 149th card is, because I think White Kyurem is 146, so 147, 148 should be full art Bianca and Shiren. And no one's really sure what 149 is right now. But then again, that did just get released, or did just get informed of us today. So thank you guys for watching, and more TCG sillies. That's not going to be like these cards are not going to be out until February. So that's why I say this is way too early. But you know, we like playing with these. So again, check descriptions if you want to see these in not black and white. And they should have been up earlier in the vid when I was talking about them too. So check the description if you want to see them on your computer. Thanks for watching, and later days.